We're going to look at this. This is Ruff Ghanor. It's a deck builder game. Came out in February this year, 2024. From DX Gameworks. Thank you to the publisher for the game key. It's a deck builder with a roguelike elements where each collected card represents a crucial action in your journey. Build the perfect deck, strategize, create powerful synergies as you progress to face your destiny. Right. Okay. Let's load this up, give it a whirl. Let me just change my time there. Okay. So it looks like that previous game is no longer on Steam. So Unreal Engine this time from Gameworks. DX. Magaloo Games. Press any button to start. Is this controller only? Did I not check that? Xbox controller. Why would you need controller with? No. It's a card game. Let me just check settings because see, I didn't get to check them all. Yes, it looks okay. New game. Yeah, I think we probably should start with the tutorial with the way things are going this morning.
In the beginning, there were the gods. The gods shaped the earth, the sky, and the seas. They populated them with creatures and smiled, for everything was green and good. But men corrupted creation with their imperfect souls. Ambition and war ravaged the lands, and the gods felt disgusted. So they created the Devourer of Worlds, a creature of immeasurable power. Nothing the men possessed could stop it. Unchallenged, the monster advanced, turning everything into a barren wasteland. But there were those who resisted, the demons. They survived at the expense of the being's sins, and if the world were to end, they would perish. The demons created the dragons, and the dragons faced the Devourer of Worlds in a series of battles that shook creation. Ultimately, the dragons emerged victorious. Cities would be rebuilt, and mortals, against the will of the gods, would live, albeit under the grip of a tyrant.
Quite nice intro and reoriented. The chemical game is probably one of those that quickly ramps up in difficulty. Level 1, water. Level 2, sodium hydroxide. And level 3, methyl chloroisothiazenoline 1. I'm not going to read the rest. But yeah, it was getting very hard, especially if you're not very good at chemistry, like I am. See, it was physics I took at school, so... Crazy amount of chaos for Backstory. It's like they couldn't settle on a good calamity and just went with them all. Yes. Let's just throw everything in there. The son of the mountain. Here begins the tale of Ruff Ghanor. On a frosty morning, monks Nicholas and Dunius were ascending the mountain in search of a stray goat from their monastery. As they approached a cave, a roar echoed, followed by an impact and then an earth tremor. No sensible goat would enter the forbidden tunnel, said Nicholas. Then we're dumber than lost goats, Dunius replied, feigning calm. The sounds intensified, but they did not seem monstrous. The roars were wild, but appeared to come from a child. This was enough to temper the monk's fear. Amid tremors in the cave, the monks encountered three beasts. Large reptiles were threatening a boy, a thin and naked boy, coated with oil and blood. The boy clenched his small fist and struck the ground with an enraged growl. The loud bang filled the cave as the ground opened up and swallowed the monsters. Startled, Dunius asked, How did you end up here? What is your name, boy? After a moment of silence, the answer came as a growl, Ruff. Maybe that's just how he was feeling at the time. Busted, yeah. I got. Did you not know? I got thrown at the word "and" in the middle. That's what threw me when I got to that bit. Hey, Nolax. 2 years, and you're here for 2 more years. Well, hopefully, you're here for a lot longer than that. Thank you very much for the reset. How are you this fine day? We're doing fine. I sent them to fetch a goat and they brought me a boy, said the prior and austere leader from the monastery of San Arnaldo. Its greatest mission was to shield its devotees from the tyranny of Zamir, the last red dragon, who ruled these lands at the cost of people's lives and suffering. For a long time, the most effective means of survival was to pay tribute to his heralds and remain unnoticed. But suddenly, the mountain offered them a wild boy, with no memory and unexplainable earthquake power in his fists. If this boy could be trained, disciplined, and shaped like a cleric of the Order of San Arnaldo, perhaps the days of silence under the dragon's rule would end. You're doing good. You're back to work after a short vacation. It is what it is, yeah. It's always nice to have had a holiday, though. Selena. Did I miss while I was reading that? Good morning, Selena. How are you today? You were playing Coral Island. And Nulax is carrying on with his Trials of Cold Steel. We have adverts. I didn't notice, I was too engrossed in the story there. The journey starts here. At San Arnaldo Monastery. Face off against enemies with your deck to advance the story and garner rewards. Initiate the combat encounter. It was good. You were testing a couple of things out. You got a new mic and was using my phone as a... and that went okay. Shaping up to be a long game. Okay, it's going to take you longer than Persona 3, I think. Yeah, all these games are so long. They are worth playing though, if you can bear the length of time. It went a lot better than expected. Oh, that's good. What sort of microphone did you get? I noticed a big difference moving from I had a Rode Podcaster before this one, and I didn't really like it. This one's far better. The NT USB. A HyperX Duocast. Ah, okay. Well, it's good that it's better than your last one. It went well as well. Yeah, it's the story that makes those games, isn't it? I mean, that's why I play them. So, this is Danger on the Trail. Combat encounter as Ruff descended from his... That's tiny little writing. Descended from his training in the mountains, dangers lurked on his path. Even using your phone as your cam went so much better than expected. Yes, but I mean, some of these phones are really good at taking video now, aren't they? I bought 2 really cheap webcams. Really cheap. Did I buy them off of Temu? You have a hard time telling if you like a game or if it's just easier to keep playing at the desktop. An iPhone 15, okay. Yeah, so it's got a good camera on it, yeah. I bought really cheap cameras and I think it was from Temu. Sorry, let me just... Was it from Temu? Or was it from Amazon? Oh no, it was from Amazon. I bought these cameras. Let me just show you this. I was using a Logitech C920 Pro camera before, and I didn't like it because it kept losing its settings all the time. Every time you started up a stream, it had lost its settings from previous, and I didn't like it. And it was quite an expensive camera at the time. So I ended up buying these. I bought 2 of these. Which is the one I'm using just now, and they're far better for low light and everything. Look how much they are. They're only £16 each. Low light, look, special feature low light, and they're really good in low light. So that's what my eyes look like, yeah. You're testing it out because like you need a better comp since you eventually want to do cross stitch on stream. Ah, okay. Is that what our eyes look like? Yeah. But yeah, I was quite impressed with those cameras. Far better than my Logitech one. Right. Let's start this combat, will we? See what the combat is like in this game. Tutorial. Okay, we have a wolf who's going to hit us for 6 maybe. At the start of each turn you gain 3 action points and draw 5 cards to your hand. The action cost is displayed on the top of each card. There are various types of card. Well, I would hope so. Deals physical damage. Boosted defenses. Gain 6 block. Allies can alter the enemy's status. Okay. We've got to restore life. Okay. And gain something else. Generate faith. Okay. Good morning, Monterey. How are you this fine day? Oh, playing more vintage story. This is our health bar. If it drops to 0, you're dead. This is the enemy's health bar. Use an attack card, sure thing. On you. That was quite loud, was it? Play another one, okay. Sure thing, a hammer bash. I might just lower the volume a wee bit, hold on. It really is, isn't it? Oh! Anybody speak whatever that is? Is it Spanish? Baron's come running in, he can speak Spanish. Why did it suddenly change language? That's your fault, Silver. You told it was talking us through it. What does that say? That says intent icons are shown below enemies' health bars, indicating their next action. In other words, he will inflict 6 damage on us in our next turn. Okay. Oh, my button's not lined up properly. Wait a minute. You think you might have gotten a bit too many mods. Your game has started having a few minor memory issues. Ah, okay. Yeah, that's the problem with adding mods, lots of mods on, isn't it? Hi, Baran. Shield yourself with a control card that blocks damage. We will. Oh, I like the effect there. That was quite smart. I spent all my action points. Let's end our turn. End my phase. Gotta download some more dedicated RAM. State effects represent various Abilities shown above the character's head. We've got bleed on this, it looks like. Maybe, or flame. It looks more like bleed. Check Ruff's details. Press F. Bleeding, yeah. Okay, take 3 damage. Healing removes the bleeding. Let's just whack him. And the same again. Hey, we got a card reward. Hammer Strike. Deal 12 damage and apply 1 weakness. Okay. This is your progress bar. Complete encounters to move forward and eventually face off against stronger enemies. Narrative encounters. Delve deeper into the story with Ruff, uncovering his connection with other characters. Okay. Village life had never been the same since the Hobgoblin's arrival, but on that night everything would change. The peace of the village ended when Sergeant Derbach, a hobgoblin from the army of the Dragon Zamir, arrived drunk, making everyone's life a hell, extorting and mistreating the villagers. The prior of the monastery, cautious about Ruff's training, didn't allow anyone to do anything about it. He's part of Zamir's army. If anything happens to him, the consequences can be disastrous, he said. Ruff and his best friends from the village, Corin and Axia, watched from afar the chaos and injustices caused by the hobgoblin for days. Why can't we just have some simple names like John and Karen or something? And on a certain night, the expected chaos didn't happen. Zamir's henchmen didn't show up to drink for free and assault the villagers at the taverns as usual. Ruff, it's over. The hobgoblin is dead. We are free. How? What happened? Yesterday he invaded my cabin looking for money, as if I had any. I cut his throat with a dagger when he got distracted. Let's... show empathy. Axia, that was... I understand. Axia acquiesces. Axia. He was a hobgoblin sergeant sent to the village to oversee us. The prior made it very clear that no one should mess with him. He attacked my little brother, Warren. I am used to villagers' mockery and insults, but no one lays a finger on my brother. Ruff, what are we going to do now if the prior finds out? Right, the best thing to do is fake a fight. I'll take the body to the square and beat him as if we had fought. I'll face the consequences. Ruff, you won't get in trouble with the prior alone. I'll help you. Okay, so we're getting little stories. Oh, right, here's the hobgoblin. Look. They just made him standing up, but he's still got 30 hit points. So, allies are playable characters who will assist Ruff in his battles. An ally's turn begins after Ruff's turn. Okay. If your ally's life runs out, they will be incapacitated. Okay. But he's dead, Jim. What can we do with him? He looks alive there. Oh, put it. He looks alive there. They've already killed him, but he's got 30 hit points. He's waiting, so can we not just bash him? What's the? Oh, sorry. What's this one doing? That probably heals. We've got one turn. We may as well put shield up. One action point left. Right, so now it should be his go. Each ally has their own deck and action points. Coordinate attacks with the ally to unleash powerful synergies. Apply 2 vulnerability, gain 10 block. That sounds quite good. Three random enemies. Let's just do that. Okay, so we've got some blockage. Might have been worth doing that one. Let's do 2 vulnerability to him. Looks like a rip-off of Slay the Spire. The art style is similar-ish, isn't it, Monterey? Although Slay the Spire doesn't have companions, does it? Is it not just the one person? I have played quite a lot of Slay the Spire, but not recently. Well, he's dead after that. Now let's hope the Prior buys into this. Yeah, the mechanics are similar. Yeah. With a bit of luck, Samir won't miss this one and will leave us alone. Cat's running wild in the house. We've got a card reward, a new shield. We'll just take that. Exploration encounters. These are showing you the storyline and the take this whatever this is. Take risks with your deck and win amazing rewards if luck is on your side, or get curses if not. Let's try this out. There's so many roguelike deck builder games out there now. Alright, now we need to get rid of this. Says Ruff, holding the blood-stained dagger in his hands. Beside him, an anxious Corin checked their surroundings. The dark forest didn't allow seeing very far. Spell a mistake. Need a W on the end there. Axia seemed the least troubled of the trio. During exploration encounters, you must decide how Ruff will face various situations. Each choice leads to a test. Cards are drawn at random from your deck and must meet certain requirements. The outcomes of the test can be a success or a failure. Draw. You can check all the cards in your deck at any given time. Okay. Yeah. Make your choice. Okay. We can bury it. We need to draw 8 cards, have at least 15 physical damage. Your mouse has started to double click on its own. Is it a fairly new mouse or is it? I got you could just try squirting some contact cleaner in when it's switched off. Let it dry out. Click it a few times while it's not connected with contact cleaner squirted in. See if that helps any. Electrical contact cleaner. And then leave it to dry. Sometimes helps. When did I buy this mouse? I've had this mouse for years now. I love this mouse. Where's my I got one of these. Logitech MX Master 2S. I've had this for years now. I never have any issues with it. And it's very comfy because it's got like a lip on the side for resting your thumb on. So your thumb doesn't touch the mouse mat. Right. You've got a Logitech G203. Okay, right, yeah. I think my son had one of them. Rings a bell. Draw 7 cards at least 2 control cards in your hand. So we need to see if we've got control cards. So we do, so we could do that one. Will we try this one? Yeah, so we managed that. Success. Okay. A nearby rock catches his eye. Ruff and Curran muster all their strength and lift the rock. To their surprise, they see an object shimmering with a magical glow. Axia swiftly grabs the object and swaps it with the dagger. As their strength limit, the boys release the rock and it falls with a dull thud. Suddenly, a noise in the forest interrupts the silence. The boys barely have time to react before one of the village guards appears. "What are you doing here?" he asks. We would need 3 blue cards, and we only have 1, so there's no chance of doing that. So we have to do this one. Oh, we don't have 6 action points though, do we? That's probably a failure. Ruff tells what happened, how they vanquished the hobgoblin and why it was for the greater good. "For Sire and Arndo's sake, tell no one, especially not the prior," he pleads. "Have you lost your minds?" the guard exclaims in disbelief. "The death of one of Zarmir's sergeants won't go unpunished. May the saint watch over us." We got our relic. +1 faith. Okay, can we go and do another encounter? So we can play more of the cards. The prior, monastery and village leader, absorbed in reading, notices Ruff entering the main hall and gives him a stern look. "Speak up, good boy. When you come in with that face, I know you've been up to mischief." The prior's gaze seems sharper than Oxia's dagger. "I killed Derbak, the hobgoblin that was tormenting the village." The prior pauses his reading for a moment. "Why did you do that?" Justify? "I had to stop. He was mistreating people, destroying everything in his path. Fortunately, no one else lost their life." "You're lying." "Stand firm." "No, it was me." The prior dips his fingers in the viscous oil and marks him on the forehead and lips. "Brother Ruff Ghanor, you are now tasked with serving Sir Arnaldo. Do you accept this mission from which you shall never be relieved?" Stunned, Ruff suddenly senses the presence of the saint enveloping him. "I accept. Then I initiate you as a cleric in the Holy Order of San Arnaldo." "Why?" "You took the sins of others upon yourself. Right or wrong, it was the gesture of a cleric." "I understand. What happens now?" "You will face the consequences of your choices. Samir will test us. Derbak was just the beginning. Our enemies will multiply in these lands. It is now your duty to protect the monastery." There's quite a lot of story in it. I quite often card games, I just like to get in and play a game of cards. We've got a miracle. Combat encounter, finally, right. Okay, let's go. The missing hobgoblin. Are we still in the tutorial? "Where's Derbak? I know he was here." "No hobgoblin has come this way." "You lie, kid. We know he's been in this village. I spotted hobgoblin footprints in the surroundings. Something odd is happening here. But worry not. I will make you talk." What's with the big, shouty face on the tower? Right, we've got faith. He's mastered his first miracle. Miracles can be evoked during battles. Miracles have a faith cost in order to be cast. Okay. This is your faith bar. Ruff gathers faith through prayer cards. But they don't carry on over combat. We've already got 1 point because of the relic. Relics harbour mighty passive abilities. Okay, we're gonna use a prayer card to get more faith. Alright, he's gonna whack us for 4. We can put some shielding up. And then, and that's it, okay. I guess we're gonna have to do that one because it's wanting us to. Okay, so we now have enough to cast earthquake because it only needed 5. A human bearing the courage to face a hobgoblin. Now I understand what happened to Derbak. Very well, brat. Just wait until Zamir hears of this. Is he fleeing already? Select... Oh, why? Edit deck. You can edit your deck with the Arcanium. There are 3 types of modifications available. Upgrade enhances existing cards and adds or adds new effects. We can duplicate to get an exact copy. Or we can remove the card from our deck. That shows the cost. Goes up every time you make a modification. So if we want to update that to do 8 damage, can we just confirm? Okay. And that's the tutorial over, right. When did I... Let me just check something. Yeah, we'll stop there a little bit. Probably. So we're into the rest of the story. Can I not come out of here without reading? No. Well, Ruff studies and trains and lends a hand to those in need. As a newly ordained cleric, Ruff strove to prove himself worthy of the title bestowed upon him, even under such adverse circumstances. Derbak was dead, instilling a mix of relief and dread in everyone's hearts. The prior said, maybe nothing will come to pass, or maybe the worst will. The answer was not long in coming. Dark clouds gathered on the horizon, and gradually scouts from Zamir and all sorts of creatures loyal to the Red Dragon began to prowl the monastery's lands. Ruff and Corin were still teenagers when they learned that their training would be tested sooner than expected, as the weapons master Sibuan and the prior himself summoned all fit to fight to patrol the surroundings. Okay, so we've got another narrative encounter on that. Right, we will come out of that one. Ruff Ghanor. It's a bit different with the storyline added in and a lot of narrative. Yeah. It just takes quite a while to get into a card game. But yeah, it is, as you say, it's very a bit of a similar to Slay the Spire. But there's lots of these games coming out now, isn't there? Slay the Spire has influenced a lot of new games. 1675, not too bad. Just depends how long it is. Doesn't really tell you how many. Oh, there was only, was it 1, 2, 3 or 4 arcs? So it's maybe not that long a game. And it didn't look as though you could just go in and play again, did it? So it would just be the campaign. You can't just go in and have a quick game of cards like you can in Slay the Spire. So yeah, that's Ruff Ghanor.